Hey everybody, I got a real treat for you today. We're going to be looking at the number 1 player currently in Abyss, Farfully Naflo, and the number 2 player, RGRGRG, fighting. And this is really the only game that I was able to find where they actually face each other. The number 1 player, Farfully Naflo, currently, as of today, it has an ELO of 518, and RGRGRG, the number 2 player, is at 502. So this game is obviously back in the day when they were still learning the game, but honestly they have pretty high ELOs at this point, so they're going to be making some pretty smart moves here. So what can we learn from this? Well, let's go in. Farfully Naflo starts the game, and really the only choice that he's got is to draw a card, and he draws it. RGRGRG can have the opportunity to take the seahorse and pay a pearl, and likely he's going to do that because that's a 5 seahorse, the highest that the seahorses go. Actually, all of the different races go is a 5. And then the rest of the time, Farfully Naflo can just keep on drawing until he's happy with something. There, a 4 squid. He likes that. Now, RGRGRG can either take crabs, squids, shellfish that just got brought to the council, or he can draw, and he's going to draw. So he draws a crab, and then he reveals a crab, a 2 crab, reveals a 2 shellfish, reveals 1 jellyfish. Farfully Naflo is not wanting any of that. And then reveals a 4 jellyfish. Farfully Naflo takes that, pays him a pearl. And so now the pearl count is 1 to 2. 2 because RGRGRG brought a pearl into this little closed economy by taking the 5th ally. Farfully Naflo takes the 3 crabs, thinking, hey, I'm going to need some crabs. So he's got a bunch of crabs, got a jellyfish, and has a squid. So a lot of 4s. All right, now RGRGRG draws a 4 shellfish, reveals that, and Farfully Naflo can choose to buy it, and I think he does. But here is the big issue, is that when you have 0 pearls, you can't do anything against your opponent. And what's going to end up happening is that's going to bite him in the butt. So RGRGRG immediately after that draws a 5 jellyfish. So that was very lucky on his part, and he's going to be able to keep that for himself. And Farfully Naflo currently could buy the Opportunist, the Apprentice, or the Hunter, but instead chooses the Apprentice. Would be probably the best choice of all those right now. 9 points, and to be able to take the shellfish or take the squid. So maybe buy the Opportunist later. Or the Opportunist would be good because he could discard the Lords. However, Farfully Naflo chooses to keep on drawing, playing this game. Now, if RGRGRG is careful, he's not going to give away a pearl and keep Farfully Naflo with no pearls. Yep. So he does not allow him to have any pearls, and Farfully Naflo now has a 3 jellyfish. Didn't want to move it into. He should have just moved it 1 more and just taken something else, maybe even a 1 jellyfish that came out, or a 1 ally, but at least have a pearl, because that is the fatal flaw that happens, because RGRGRG now goes out and buys the Alchemist. And you see right here, the Alchemist, when you request support from the council, you add 2 stacks to your hand instead of 1. Okay, had that one just below my head, right down here. And now RGRGRG is going to, with that, he's able to affiliate a 5 jellyfish. So that's going to be 5 points. Pretty powerful stuff, using a 5 jellyfish and 2 pearls. So that really helped him out a lot. And now he's going to be able to take 2 things from the council. I don't think he's going to be drawing from the deck anymore after that. So Farfully Naflo just decides to draw from the deck, And you can kind of see where this is going. Okay, he reveals a monster and decides not to fight it. So the monster moves up and is the rewards for the monster increase. But now Farfleet Offlow has a pearl that he could buy something from RG. But is RG going to draw? Nope, he's going to probably take from the council. Likely he's going to want shellfish because there's a lot of those. Yep, so 5 shellfish cards. And then he's going to take a squid because he wants to buy the opportunist. So Farfleet Offlow could buy some other things, but he's trying to get a seahorse to be able to buy the hermit, I believe. Let's see what he does. He could take this 5 crab. Alright, he does take the 5 crab. RG takes the rest of the crabs that were in the council. So really abusing the alchemist's power. Alright, Farfleet Offload chooses a reward, chooses 2 monster tokens, gets 6 points, so those points are hidden, but he is in the lead right now in points. And then the next thing that happens is RG takes the hunter and steals a monster token from his opponent. So that was a very perfect play right there by RG to, as soon as your opponent grabbed monster tokens, to steal them. And then Farfleet Offload takes the 4 seahorse. And here's the move I remember. He's got 4s in everything. RG keeps on taking. That's what I would do if I had the alchemist right here. I would just take a bunch of things from the council. RG, he goes and grabs the hermit. Let's step through this and see the hermit. There we go. So it's just going to draw 1 location and place it under your control. Okay, he's going to recruit it using 5 different 4s. So that's very expensive. Only costs 10, but ended up paying 20 for it. But yeah. And then he decides to affiliate the 4 crabs. So now he's got 4 points plus 5. And he's got secretly a 3-point monster token, but we know he gave one of those to RG. And RG now has 5 points, 6 points, making 11. And then it has points from his allies as well. 21 points total for RG. So he's beating Farfleet Offlow, even with the hidden points. But the location that came out is the Chamber of Allies, and the sum of your weakest affiliated allies from each race, plus 3 are your points for that location. So he's going to get that. That will be really important because he's already got a 4 crab. So just keeping high numbers of allies will increase the points for the Chamber of Allies at the end of the game. But unfortunately, you got to have a lot of points at the end of the game to win. And focusing on just that part of your strategy isn't really going to seal the deal. Really, what you want to do is get just a ton of lords. And he's already losing in the lord count. He's got 1 lord to his opponent's 2 lords, and then his opponent takes another lord, the opportunist, 3rd lord out there for him. And by doing that, taking the opportunist, when you take that, when there's only 2 lords left, you took that 3rd one, then you get 2 pearls. So RG is at 3 pearls. A very good move there. And now Farfleet Offlow needs to start using these crabs. So he ends up, I guess, taking the assassin. Okay, so we can go to the assassin and read what that does. And that's going to make each of your opponents have 1 lord that you choose to just cancel its ability. And so he's going to make the alchemist be completely canceled out. And because, I mean, that alchemist was pretty annoying. And he's going to affiliate a 2 crab. He's going to disable that alchemist. Bam. So the Alchemist is no more. Not even the key matters. It's going to be only 5 points at the end of the game. But actually, the Assassin's not that great because when you use it on a lord that has a key, your opponent can keep on getting more and more key lords without needing to take 3 keys and combine them into a location. I mean, you do want locations, of course. That's going to be points at the end of the game. But you'll see that he's going to just get a bunch of really great lords with abilities, like so. So now he grabs the Recruiter. If he had not done that, and if Farfetch'd Offlow had not used the Assassin on the Alchemist, then RG wouldn't have been able to do this. So he buys the Recruiter, and then RG's Recruiter makes his opponents need to spend 2 more to get recruit lords. So that just made it really hard for him. Had there been a 3rd key with the Alchemist, then all 3 of those abilities would be bye-bye. So really fatal flaw there. But Farfetch'd Offlow knows he's not in a good position right now. And okay, so he decides to keep on drawing. The game is nearing a close. Just because RG has so many points, we'll just skip through here. Farfetch'd Offlow buys the Keeper, and hoping to maybe get another location out of that. But in doing that, there's only 3 lords left. He uses the ability The Opportunist to replace a card. And then he's going to buy, again, when there's 3 lords left, buying one of them allows you to get 2 pearls. And he does that for the 2nd time. So just all these moves are great from RG. Really unfortunate. Just the numbers game didn't work for Farfetch'd Offlow. He could have paid a pearl to add more lords to the council, but then that just gives your opponents more options and you 1 less pearl. So not a move that people like to do very often, but I can understand why you would want to plot at the court, it's called. So you're looking at RG's different lords. He's got so many of them. And even though he doesn't have a location, he's alright with that. And yeah, it's just really not looking good for Farfetch'd Offlow. And then I really liked this move from RG. I'm glad we're looking at this here. So he buys the Landlord. That's going to be the 3rd key, which is going to negate all of his special abilities. The Recruiter's no more. The Opportunist is not going to allow him to keep discarding lords from the court and then replacing them with one at the top of the deck. Both those abilities will be gone when you get your 3rd key, and you usually don't get to use the ability of the person on the 3rd key, but the Landlord says you gain a pearl now, like now. So he's going to get that pearl. He goes from 1 pearl after buying it, he goes to 2 pearls, and then now we look at here, he's got all 3 of these guys he uses on the Hall of Mirrors, and it's going to copy an opponent's location at the end of the game. Well, guess what? That's a really great location for him because he's gotten 5 points from the jellyfish, 4 points for the crab, and 1 point from the shellfish, and 5 points from that squid. That's going to be a lot of points. 15, 18 points for the Chamber of Allies copy with the City of Mirrors. Whereas the Chamber of Allies is not doing so great for Farfetch'd Offlow, only giving him 4 points. So we keep on moving through this, and RG is just trying to seal the game right now. And he's going to take the 11-point Aquaculturist. Well done. That's a really great lord to end on, too. No special ability. You don't need a special ability at the end of the game. You need points. And he grabs an 11-point one as the sealing the end of the game with you when you have 7 lords purchased from either player. that makes the end of the game, and then it starts the last round. So Farfleet Offlow really can't do anything because RG went second. So now we add up the points. 20 points from locations for RG, only 11 for Farfleet Offlow. 45 for Lords for RG, only 17 from Farfleet Offlow. RG's allies 19 to Farfleet Offlow's 11. RG's monster tokens 3 to Farfleet Offlow's 9. Going monster tokens is not a good strategy. It's just kind of a perk that works out. So all in all, RG destroyed in that game, and I hope you saw why. So 3 of the moves that I really liked for him, his third lord that he did still gave him a pearl. 2 times in the game he bought, when there was 3 lords left, he bought one of them and gained 2 pearls from it. So that's a net of 4 pearls gained just by buying at the right time. And early on in the game, he grabbed a mage lord that has a special ability, the alchemist that you saw, where he was able to grab 2 stacks instead of 1 and allowed his opponent to just add stacks to that council. So that's a really good one to start out with the game with. Any of the ones that have good special ability are good to start out with, but that one worked really well for the game that he was playing. Also, he did, as soon as his opponent grabbed a monster token, he bought the hunter and used that hunter. Where is that? Used the hunter to steal a random monster token. Things that I didn't like about Farfleet Offlow's play was that he used the assassin on the alchemist way late after the alchemist had already done a lot of his things. The alchemist could have kept doing his special abilities, but he used it on the alchemist right there, and then his opponent was able to make it even harder to recruit more things. Likely that was a huge annoyance. But even worse was using 20 power of allies to recruit the hermit, which only costs 10. That did very little for him and ended up getting him a 4 crab. So totally he got a 3 squid, a 1 shellfish, a 4 crab, and a 3 jellyfish. So that's 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11. So he did get 11 points from allies at the end of the game, but that was just not the greatest move to use so many different high point cards. Just use all low numbers and affiliate a low number card. It's okay to get a hermit, to get any of these ambassadors. It is totally fine to just affiliate a low number, because the location you're going to get is going to set your strategy for the rest of the game. It just so happened he got a strategy that required to have not weak allies. So that was kind of unlucky for him, but don't overkill for these ambassadors. They're not S tier level. They're just a little bit lower than that. Anyways, all in all, really great game, and hope you enjoyed that. You may know nothing about Abyss, but I want you to know that it's a really great game, and it'd be nice if you tried it. So let me know in the comments below what you thought about that. That was a nice little look at 2 really powerful players playing Abyss on Board Game Arena. Thank you very much, and have a great day.